Hello and welcome. My name is Luke from Behind the Scene, and today I'm chatting with Caleb of Perth's pop punk four-piece Nautical Mile. How are you, Caleb?
Good, thanks, Luke. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Just want to say a quick congratulations on your brand new single, Marionette.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Thanks for that. Yeah, pretty happy with how the release has gone so far and the response we've got, which is, always nice.
Yeah, and what can you tell me about Marionette, about the themes?
I suppose the themes, this one in particular is the first song. As I'm the drummer, I usually don't contribute as much lyrically with a lot of our songs in the past. But this is the first song where there's been a topic that I've felt strongly about just through like personal things in life, and I contributed quite a bit to this song lyrically and sort of the themes that are sort of stuck within it throughout. This one's got a more stronger meaning to myself personally, but I think the band sort of really resonates with the themes that are in that. And I suppose it's about relationships, or maybe someone who's having a really negative impact on one's life, and being able to understand you can sort of push past that person and get away from them, and there is sort of the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what the song means to me, and I think for the members of the band also as well, I think they can also agree with that one.
Yeah, that's I read that it's a bit of like a dysfunctional family unit, and about standing up to the aggressors in situations.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's spot on.
So with the usual writing process, is that normally taken care of by other members of the band?
No, so generally the writing process will consist of myself and Dan, the guitarist. So we hang out quite a lot, and we'll write as many sort of songs as when we've got something comes to mind. So you generally start with guitar track plus drums, and then he'll keep sending that back and forth between him and myself, and I'll be programming some things, and we'll change it how we think suits best, and then we'll take it to the rest of the band, being Brody and Nick, and then we sort of go over some things lyrically, see if Brody's got some ideas, and if not, we work together, unless someone's already got something that's really good, I suppose. So, I'm always take part in the writing process quite strongly, but it is a team process in the end.
Yeah. So with this one, you've taken a bit more of a step forward with the lyrics and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely, which is something I never felt maybe comfortable with in the past, or didn't think that I would be able to contribute. But that's, I don't know, at least a change for this one, and I'm really happy with how it's come out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, fingers crossed it can kind of stay that way. You can have a bit more of an input for lyrics for future releases. It'd be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have got a tour coming up late August. What can you tell me about the tour?
So, so the tour is for the release of Marionette. So, we're starting off in Perth on the 23rd of August. So that's at Amplifier Bar with a bunch of bands that we really get along with quite well in Perth. And then from there, we're coming over to Brisbane, which is the 29th of August, just at the bright side. And then next night, we're over in Sydney, Friday the 30th at the Burdekin Hotel. And the tour is wrapping up in Melbourne at the Workers Club on Sunday, the 1st of September. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be, I think it's only the third time we've managed to get ourselves over east. So we always, quite excited to always get back over there and play to new faces and completely different environment to what we're used to in Perth, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. I'm from Sydney, so I kind of take the whole East Coast run kind of very run of the mill. But for you guys to come all the way over from Perth, that's a massive jump. Are you guys flying it over, or are you vanning it over?
For this one, we're going to fly. So this is all the other ones, or at least the last one, we drove for the most part of it, which was great. We got to see a lot of things on the road and a few more experiences that you won't get if you're flying. But it's only the 3 dates over east, and they're pretty much one after the other. We're just going to be flying between cities just to logistically just keep it nice and clean and simple.
Beautiful. So much easier than having to jump in the van straight after a show and hit the road to make it in time for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no risk of anyone potentially falling asleep at the wheel or anything scary like that. So, a little bit less stressful, I think. It's going to work out all right, I hope. Yeah,
fingers crossed for you guys. So how long did it take to create and record Marionette from its sort of first introduction?
This one was quite a quick one. I think it started off with a little bit of improvising, and that was probably week one, I suppose, and probably by the second week we had the full song. Following on from there, after a month, we were happy with it. Went straight to the studio and recorded it, and then we've just kind of we've had it lurking around for about 4 months before we put it out. So yeah, this is the first time we've been ultra prepared and really happy with the sound we got, which was really nice, because generally it's just pumping stuff out as quick as you can and obviously putting out the best content possible. But yeah, this one was a little bit more refined, I think, and yeah, I think it's come out really well.
You guys think you've sort of found your groove now, that you sort of your music making groove, or?
Yeah, I think, I mean, yeah, our genre, we've always been in like the pop punk genre, but there's a lot of sort of post-hardcore little elements and things, because we all really like heavier music as well. So it's finding that balance that works for us, where we're still really happy with the music we're putting out, and we hope we still get those responses from the music without going too far from that pop punk base, I suppose, at the moment. And that's what we've been really trying to nail, which I think is coming closer. It's definitely on the heavier side of things, but we're quite happy with how it's been going.
Yeah, no, that's and that's a really quick turnaround as well. Like 1 month from basically having it done to recording. That's a really, really quick turnaround. So props to you guys for sort of getting the machine pumping in the right way.
Yeah, it usually never turns out like that. This is not a one-off, but it's not often come together so quickly and then have a great outcome in the end, I suppose. Yeah,
definitely. And where was it recorded and mixed and mastered?
So it was recorded with our friend Emmett Carroll. So he's a like producer and has a studio in Perth. So we're good friends with him personally. And then we've just started. This is the first single we actually ever recorded with him. We've been really happy with how it came out, and obviously because we're mates, really easy to deal with, and it's always an enjoyable process working with Emmett. So we're going to continue going back to him for a while, I think, because there's no issues there at all.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that Emmett from Carrington?
Yeah, from Carrington.
Yeah, I've spoken to Emmett before. That's small.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's Perth after all. Everyone knows everyone.
He was actually one of my first interviews I did for Behind the Scenes. So it's cool little tidbit. Who made the cover art?
The cover art. So my brother is a graphic designer, coincidentally. So he's been doing all the graphics. And promo stuff for us ever since day one in the band. So that's handy contact to have, I suppose. Like just keeps things a little bit easier and quicker off the bat to get everything back and forth. Yeah,
it keeps it with that DIY feel. Like you've got your mate Emmett, doing the recording and the mastering, and then you got your brother making the album covers. Yeah, it's a bit more of an authentic feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And between releases, you guys have played some pretty cool live shows, and you've shared the stage with the likes of Trophy Eyes, Hellions, Hawthorne Heights, and The Decline, just to name a few. What can you tell us about those experiences?
To start off, Trophy Eyes was the first show we ever played, was supporting Trophy Eyes.
Oh my God.
Earlier days, when they came to Perth. So that was incredible. I mean, could not for a first show, it couldn't have gone any better. That was great, and we got to hang out with them because they were staying at our bassist's house because they're friends. So we hung out with the band for a couple of days, and it was really cool insight to what it can be like when things are going really well. That was couldn't have asked for a better start for our sort of live shows, playing with Trophy Eyes, and then from there bands like Hellions, and then more recently supporting Senses Fail, which was really cool because they'd come a long way. It's always interesting to see if you can get a few words out of them and hang around and just find out what other people are doing and what works for them as well. So it's nice to meet other musicians that are sort of in that same genre or area, and it's always nice to have chats and find out and watch them live as well. So these are bands that I'd always listen to, and you'd think, I'll never be playing with them or whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden you've worked your way up a little bit and you're supporting the bands that you idolize, I suppose. So it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And which one's your favorite show that you guys have played?
My favorite show personally was Senses Fail, which was super recent, because I've always loved Senses Fail ever since I was probably in high school, back when I was about 12 years old. So always loved them, and I used to play their songs on the drums and so on, and then being able to support them and meet them for me was my favorite by far. It was a great crowd there, and that was, for me, it was just something a little bit surreal. So I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, you've kind of reached that's a bit of a dream moment playing with a
Yes,
band you
yeah,
listened to for so long.
absolutely.
That's really cool. Run us through the history of Nautical Mile.
We started probably late 2015, and then we put out our first 4-track EP in January 2016. So that was the first sort of bit of music we'd put out, which if I look back at it now, I think would have done a few things differently, but the songs themselves, I still think I'm pretty happy with how they came out. So it was a good little start. And from there, we sort of worked towards writing the second EP, which came out the following year. And I think it was a single in between there. We've had a vocalist change, which is the most noticeable change, which has been in the past, will be coming up 2 years. We've had Brody with us, and he's got some noticeably different vocals, a little bit more harsh, I suppose. Which is really cool. So that was the addition, which came late 2017, and from there we've put out a bunch of singles with Brody, and now we've actually just finished recording an album, which is going to be our debut album, which is coming out later this year. So
it's really exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. So it's super cool to finally. I think that's always the goal for most bands, is to getting that first album together with songs that everyone really actually likes, which I think we've done that. So that's coming out later, and really excited to put that out.
Yeah, it's a really especially with an album, it's such a big thing, and everyone wants to put their sort of mark on it, like everybody part of the band. So it's always hard to sort of get the balance right between everybody, make sure everybody's happy with the final end product.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why it's taken so long to have that album. Like some of these songs have been put together more recently, whereas others have been just lurking around for probably up to 2 years or more, and we've just saved them away so we could perfect them, and everyone's had their say on what they want to do musically. And I think the album really represents the four of us as a band, and the music, the kind of music that we would like to put out, and hope that everyone else will enjoy as well.
Yeah, definitely. Is it gonna have a bit more, like you were saying, a bit more of a post-hardcore sort of bit more of a heavier sound compared to your other stuff, or you can't?
That's a great question. I mean, no, I'm not going to say I can't say that yet, because I've got to say something. I hate when I'm listening to bands or in interviews and they tell me that I can't have. I've got to say something. I think like it's definitely still 100% the sound people are expecting, I hope, but it is still, we have not tried to narrow it too far down to just straightforward pop punk. There's still a bit of diversity there with the sound. I don't think they go too far from one another, from the most easygoing song to the heavier one. But you're definitely on the ball. There's some post-hardcore influences in there, which will be definitely obvious in particular tracks.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I know, like I said, there's sometimes bands can't share too much, but I really appreciate you sharing that with us. I definitely agree with what you're saying, though. The pop punk sort of genre has been around for so long and has been so refined to a point that if you bring out a pop punk album, everyone's gonna be like, oh, that sounds exactly like blah blah blah's album from 4 years ago and blah blah blah's album from 6 years ago, and it becomes a bit stagnant. So it's awesome that you guys are going to mix in other elements to sort of keep it fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's it. I think the definition of pop punk now, or even many other genres, is changing quite a bit, and you can play around with the sound without going too far from. You're still staying in that genre, I suppose, at the same time, which is really cool that you can do that. And you hear it all the time in a lot of the way the post-hardcore sound has sort of evolved in the past, like 10 years even, is crazy. And it is happening with pop punk as well. And hopefully we can pull it off.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I can't wait to hear a release date from you guys at the end of the year, and can't wait to give it a listen. And what's the favourite venue that you guys have played together?
Favourite venue? I think in Perth we really like Amplifier. We can't complain about that one. We've played there that many times, and I think the only reason we go back is just because we clearly enjoy it so much. Badlands Bar's another really good one in Perth as well. But then I suppose over east, highlight for me is probably the Bright Side in Brisbane.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great venue, quite a big venue. It does remind me of like a venue back in Perth, which is called Capital, and it's a bit similar to that. But yeah, really great venue. So I suppose that's my two favourites. Although this time when we play, there's the Burdekin Hotel and the Workers Club, which we've heard great things about as well. So I suppose I'll wait and see what those ones are like before I might add those to the list as well.
Yeah. No, I definitely heard a lot of people say that they love the Bright Side up in Brisbane. That's definitely a bit of a touring band's favourite spot to play in Brisbane. I've been to Burdekin Hotel at least 50 to 100 times for different shows. It's a really good little room. Are you guys playing upstairs or are you guys playing downstairs? Not sure.
I think we are playing upstairs, and that was just because the cut-off times.
Yeah.
I think upstairs are much later, which was working for us at the time. So we've just gone for the upstairs, which is obviously a little bit of a smaller room, but
it's actually the way that the downstairs is bigger, but there's pylons in the room as well, which makes it a bit hard to see from certain angles. The upstairs room is like a long sort of rectangle, so it's really tight, but it's pretty long. So it's actually a pretty cool little room.
Yeah. Oh, definitely looking forward to then. Definitely. Well, I wasn't opposed to going up or downstairs when we were sort of getting information about it at the time. So no, it certainly sounds good to me.
Burdekin Hotel and Crowbar really as the mainstays here in Sydney now. Crowbar being formerly the Boldface Stag, but Burdekin Hotel's that's the place to be for live music in Sydney at the moment. So it's awesome you guys get to play there and get to experience it. So how did you guys get the name Nautical Mile?
It's good. I'm glad I took this interview. I came up with the name Nautical Mile, and it stuck obviously, but there's not really the greatest story. I mean, the only thing I can say is I was in another band before that, and I remember suggesting Nautical Mile to them, and they said no. And we ended up calling the band, I think it was like Desolation Nightmare or something like some savage name. And I was like, man, this sucks. Anyway, I didn't last long in that band, and obviously the name didn't really sit with me too well. So when we were thinking of a name, for Nautical Mile, I suppose everyone was putting out ideas and no one was saying much. So I said, how about this? Everyone just said yes, which was strange, and it stuck. So cool for me, and I think it's been around ever since. But that's the story behind the name. There's no further meaning to it or anything like that, I suppose.
It was just meant to be. It didn't work out with the first band, and with these guys, they jumped all over it. They loved it. So it works for me. I mean, it's just some whatever nautical measurement or whatever. I don't know how much one nautical mile is. That's the little joke that everyone always asks me. Couldn't tell you, but that's how we got it anyway. And what band or artist is an influence to yourself personally?
So many. I suppose A Day to Remember has always been a huge influence on the band, and every member in the band generally would really like their music. And also I think it may be one of the reasons why is they managed to also sort of swing the post-hardcore sort of pop-punky thing either way as well, which is really cool with the sound that they've had over the years. But besides that, lots of heavier bands like Architects, the Amity Affliction, sort of back in the day, Beartooth, another really band that I'd get stuck into. And then I still love heaps of pop punk stuff like All Time Low and things like that as well. So it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other, I suppose.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I was saying, you guys get to sort of pick and choose what you want from each genre and mix them all into the wrapping of pop punk kind of Nautical Mile sense. So it's really cool that you guys are sort of branching out with your sound and sort of taking elements from other people. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's going okay.
Yeah. What's next for Nautical Mile? So you got an album coming out. Dates aren't short up yet. You got the tour coming up, and you've just released Marionette. What else is going on?
I mean, a heap of writing. I know the album's done and dusted before we put it out, but for us, it's just constant writing. So we're still rehearsing a couple of times a week and so on, and trying to get as much content as we can so we can pick and choose when it comes time to putting something else out after. But besides that, potentially another tour or so that will be announced. A bit more touring. Yes. And besides that, back to normal business as usual, just writing, playing, the shows we can sort of sort out, and that's about it really. I think we'll just sort of play it by ear.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And where can everyone find you guys on the internet and find out all the details for upcoming shows and all that?
So you can go to nauticalmile.com.au. So we've just got the website there. You can go straight there, and that'll have all the tour dates, music links to merch, all the usual stuff. And then if not, there's of course Facebook, Instagram, which that'll have all our dates on there, ticket links, and so on. If you sort of jump on there, you can find the information for most things you might be after. And
have you got any shout outs to anybody that's helped you guys along the way, or anyone that you want to thank?
Yeah, I mean, certainly big thanks to Emmett. Obviously couldn't have done the album without him, helping us so much with the recording of the whole thing, and been so lenient and flexible dealing with us and our pathetic time management skills. Jamie from Super Freak, where we rehearse at, he's always been a great dude with us for the past many years, and he's really helped us out as well, I suppose. And then, I mean, I could thank everyone, but those are the two big influences that really helped us out. Oh, and Zach, my brother, of course, for helping us out with all the promo and garbage that he's had to deal with from us as well. So he's been working real hard for us, and that's just been really great.
No, that's awesome. No problem at all. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate your time and having this chat with us. And all the best for the upcoming tour and the album, and all the best for Marionette as well. I hope you guys absolutely kill it, and can't wait to hear more from you.
Absolutely, perfect. Thanks, Luke, for chatting us today.
No, that's all right. Not a problem at all. I'll catch you guys sometime around.
All right, catch you, mate.
See ya. Bye.